Good morning. This is Ray. Um, what follows is a real quick and dirty uh, video of me knitting and purling, Continental and English, uh, simply because it seems like a bunch of people are making videos of how they knit and purl. So I will leave it at that and turn you over to the other part of the video. Talk to you later. Bye. All right. So let's get this ball rolling here before the air conditioner turns back on again. Oh, this thing goes forever and forever, but I'm nearly done with it, I hope. Anyway, I'm going to get that out of the way. And first we're going to be working on the purl stitch, continental style. Might get my long ass needle situated here. Let's see if we need a little extra light. I don't know. I really hope y'all can see this. I'm going to be working on the back side, and you'll notice I am loading my needle, bringing up all the stitches, as many as I can, onto the needle so that they're all close to the tip as I'm working. And as always, the first few stitches on a row are kind of fussy and fiddly. Let me see if I can get my angle just right. I have the yarn in the back, and on this pattern the first 5 stitches on each row are knit because we're making a garter stitch border all along this thing. So you bring the yarn to the front and you slip the first stitch onto the right needle. I don't know if that's working or not. Anyway, we're going to make a knit, knit, knit. All right, there's 4, and I forgot to tighten the first stitch, so I got to go back. All right, that's a slip stitch. Then you knit the next one and pull them down tight so that your border stitches are firm. All right, 3, 4, 5. And then we start to purl. Let me get this where you all can see it here. See what I'm doing. With the yarn and back, like that. It's real easy to purl in Continental. And it's even easier if I take up the slack, like that. All right. Now some people like to pick off of the index finger very, very, very close. But I like to work at it this way, just easier for me. With my middle finger, I push the stitch way up close to the tip. I insert the right needle and I bring the yarn around with my index finger like that and slip it off. And once I get going, it's much easier to see how it works. And it actually goes pretty fast once you get going onto it, like that. Ugh. I have the AC turned off so it doesn't make noise, and my fingers are getting sweaty. That's how I mostly knit Continental. In that way, use the what's that called? The index finger to cock the yarn around the right needle, while the middle finger is pushing that first stitch up to the tip so you can catch it. Cock it around, stitch up, needle in, cock it around, and pull it through. Stitch up, needle through, cock it around, pull it through, up like that. And you want to have your needle fully loaded as close as you can to keep it moving all the time. And I'm not sure if this is working for you people or not, but this is how I purl most of the time. Now, if you're knitting continental or English style with the yarn in the left side, you can still do the same thing. Push the stitch up and wrap it, pull it, wrap it and pull it, wrap it and pull it. You never have to let go of the needles if you don't want to, because the index finger does most of the work here. And I haven't been knitting English for many, many years, so I'm going to go back to Continental. It's just faster for me. There is no right way to do it, no wrong way to do it, as long as the stitches end up where you want them to be. But this is just another way of making the stitches happen so that you can create the projects that you love and will enjoy wearing and using. Knitting, of course, is not a competition. You don't have to work for speed. Some people like to go very slowly and methodically. I'm not one of those people. If I'm working on something, I want to get it done. You know, I'm more of a what do you call it? A product knitter rather than a process knitter. Process knitters get into the process. They like to go slowly and take their time, stitch by stitch, working each one nice and evenly. I prefer to just get it done so that I can enjoy the thing that I'm making even more than I enjoy the making of it, if that makes any sense. So this is how I purl. And when we start the next row in just about 10 stitches, I'll show you how I knit continental style, which is even faster than purling because there's very little motion. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 5 stitches here. Nope, that was right. I need 5 stitches. Okay, so now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches, and those have to be knit on this particular project. And you see I changed the yarn color here, so I'm picking up that slip stitch from the first. Just have to tug that down. And also the yarn that I carried in when I changed, I need to snug that down also, so that first stitch is snug, or more snug than it was. Alright, now we go to the knit. Okay. Now, on this particular pattern, on the front side, we start with a slip stitch and 4 knit stitches. Actually, slip stitch, knit 2 together, and then 3 more knit stitches. So bring the yarn to the front to slip the stitch, slip it off, pick up 2 stitches, darn it, pick up 2 stitches, wrap that around, come on, there we go, 2 stitches, 3, 4, 5, and now it's just knit, knit, knit all the way through. Let me see if I can. Now again with the knitting, some continental knitters knit off the front finger only, the index finger only, which is held very, very closely. I'm trying to get it down there. For me, that's very difficult to do, to have the index finger that close. But that's how it works. You end up with your index finger right there, and you're picking off the index finger I can't do that. With my middle finger, I like to push the stitch up and flick it with my index finger, same as on the purl stitches. Push the stitch up, bring it around, and you'll notice the yarn is coming off of the middle finger here, like that. And again, we get our thing loaded up here, our needle loaded up. Push those down, knit, 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 knit. And I'm not sure if I'm explaining the mechanics of it correctly or not, but the middle finger moves the stitch to the front. The needle comes through it to the back and picks up the yarn off of the middle finger where it's riding for knit stitches. For me, it's a very smooth and easy transition, and without any stopping and starting. Yep, and we got that wrapped around. How did that work? Yep, we dropped a stitch. All right, so we'll correct that. There we go, that's better. And same for knitting English. It's also very simple. Just, you never have to let go of the needle. Just bring it around. Like that. I'm trying to get all the different ways that I can show you what I'm doing here. Where's my camera? Dang it. There it is. And that's awkward, and I'm holding it up right up under my chin almost, so that I can get really, really close to what you're looking at there. But you don't have to put it through and wrap the yarn around and then hold it and bring it through like that. Just get your tension right, and it takes practice. There's no one right way of doing it, but if you get your tension right, you never have to let go of the needle. You just flick your finger over the needle like that. Here, all right. Flick your finger over the needle. So I hope that's helpful to show how I do it. It doesn't matter how you do it, just find a way that works for you and watch as many different people as you can to learn their techniques. There's no special way that works just for some people and not for others. And as long as the stitches come up formed in the right direction, the right orientation, don't worry about it. Just find a way that works for you and enjoy the process. And now I'm coming up to the end of this row, and on this particular pattern, the next to the last stitch, we have to do a knit into the front and the back loops. Let me do that again where it's on the camera. All right, we knit into the front loop as normal, and then through the back loop. And that can be a little fiddly to make it work. And then knit the last stitch. See, that's why I like Continental. I don't have to work with it quite as badly, quite as much. So anyway, there it is, and I will close this off, and y'all comment down below or somewhere. Let me know how you like it, and if there's a different angle where you want me to hold the camera, that would be important for me to know for the next time. So until next time, we'll talk to you later. Bye.